When Anthony Albanese promised to cut your power bills by $275 a year, that was 3 years ago to the day. And he didn't just promise it once.
$275.
Labor said it 97 times before the last election. But what's he delivered? Well, electricity prices are now up to $1,000 more than what Labor promised.
As we approach the next federal election, Opposition leader Peter Dutton has used the 3-year anniversary of a key promise by Prime Minister Anthony Albanese to launch a scathing attack. 3 years ago, Albanese made a bold promise that by 2025, Australian households would see a reduction of $275 in their power bills. Dutton has seized this anniversary to hold Albanese accountable for this unfulfilled pledge. Dutton pointed out that Labor had promised Australians this electricity bill cut 97 times before the last election, emphasising that these were not just isolated comments but a repeated commitment by the Prime Minister. As of today, new data reveals that Australian households are struggling with higher energy costs. A record 130,000 households, about 1.9% of customers, are now on hardship payment plans for their electricity bills, an increase from 1.4% the previous year. Meanwhile, despite falling power spot prices by up to 40% in some regions, Australians are still seeing high energy costs. Dutton's office highlighted Albanese's repeated promises, even providing a detailed 17-page list of quotes from the PM and other Labor frontbenchers. The Labor government's renewables-only energy policy has been heavily criticised by Dutton, who claims it has contributed to rising power prices. In response, the government has pointed to various initiatives, including rebates like the $300 energy bill rebate introduced in July, which aim to ease the cost of living pressures. The government also included an allocation of $3.5 billion in the 2024 federal budget to continue and expand electricity bill subsidies. On the economic front, Australia is facing slow growth, with recent figures indicating a sluggish economy, even as government spending provides a buffer. New data from the Australian Bureau of Statistics, ABS, reveals that the Australian economy is expected to show weak growth when the GDP figures are released this week. Public spending has played a significant role in propping up the economy, with total government spending rising by 3% in the September quarter. The ABS also revealed that the current account deficit widened to $14.1 billion in the September quarter, driven by a shrinking trade surplus, partly due to falling commodity prices and fewer international students arriving in Australia. The revisions to the previous quarter's data highlight the challenges facing Australia's export sector. Despite these challenges, economists are hopeful that government spending will help sustain the economy. Federal and state governments spent a total of $195.8 billion in the September quarter, driven by initiatives like the energy bill rebates and increased public sector wages. However, AMP's chief economist, Shane Oliver, noted that while public spending has helped, it may also be contributing to inflationary pressures, making it harder for the Reserve Bank of Australia, RBA, to manage economic conditions. If GDP growth surpasses expectations, Australia could avoid a per capita recession for the first time in 6 quarters. In an exclusive news series, in conversation with Laura Jays, former top-rating radio broadcaster Ray Hadley opened up about his strained relationship with Prime Minister Anthony Albanese. Hadley, who has interviewed Albanese extensively in the past, explained why the PM has refused to appear on his show since becoming the country's leader. Hadley, known for his tough and direct questioning, suggested that Albanese avoids him because he knows Hadley would push him hard, refusing to shy away from difficult questions. Despite this, Hadley claimed the offer to come on the show has always remained open. In a candid moment, Hadley revealed that when he saw Albanese at a football match, the PM promised to appear on his show anytime, but the people around him seemed to advise against it. Hadley's straightforward approach contrasts with Albanese's preference for softer interviews on FM radio, where topics are less contentious. This conversation is part of a 6-part series that delves into the personal and professional lives of various thought leaders. The series includes interviews with high-profile guests, such as former NSW state political leader John Brogdon, Medal of Honor recipient David Bellavia, and humanitarian leader Daniel Wordsworth, among others. The series is available exclusively to Sky News Australia subscribers on their streaming platform. In another revealing interview from the series, World Vision Australia CEO Daniel Wordsworth shared his inspiring journey of dedicating his life to helping those less fortunate. Reflecting on his early motivations, Wordsworth recalled his thoughts at the age of 20 about what he wanted his life's legacy to be. He decided that helping poor and struggling people would be a meaningful and worthy pursuit. This commitment has driven his work with World Vision, where he continues to fight for the rights and welfare of those in need. Finally, Jesuit priest and academic Father Frank Brennan offered his views on the modern Catholic Church in another episode of the series. Brennan disagreed with the notion that guilt and sin are central to the Church's teachings today, describing this as a stereotype. He noted that the Catholic Church's credibility has diminished in the public eye, particularly in countries like Australia. His insights into the evolving role of the Church shed light on how religious institutions are adapting to contemporary societal changes. That's all for today's update on Aussie Pulse. We'll continue to bring you the news that matters, so make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Until next time, take care and stay informed.